Alright, welcome back. So in this video I want to discuss the current state of the union for most insurance agents and how that works. And like I said in the previous video, I've been selling insurance for nearly 10 years, so I know a lot of the common hurdles and headaches that most agents have to deal with. First one we'll discuss here is drive time. I know I've driven thousands of miles, hundreds of hours of just driving to go see clients, sometimes having to drive back just for a signature or an initial or just getting additional information. So I definitely know that personally. Also, I've known about making lots of sales calls. I'm actually one of the few agents that I actually enjoy making cold calls. I know that's kind of weird for most people, but also follow-up calls, I actually don't mind doing those. But when it comes to office and overhead costs, I don't think anyone enjoys paying those, and that's definitely a part of the industry that a lot of us have to deal with, whether it's renting an office or sometimes just renting a desk in an office. Other costs that agents have to deal with are lead cost. It seems like the insurance brokers, IMOs, insurance companies that talk about lead costs, that's all they talk about. They don't really talk about how to generate your own stuff, how to generate your own leads. And the problem with buying leads, unfortunately, is once you start buying leads and you rely on those, it seems like those brokers that talk about buying leads, they also sell those leads too. And they keep beating that drum about more leads. They talk about, if you want more sales, buy more leads. If you want to get in front of more people, buy more leads. If you want more leads, buy more leads. So definitely I've heard too many agencies talk about that. But also too, there's a lot of different roles and responsibilities that an agent has to do, whether it's filing claims, follow-up calls like I talked about before, but also, there's just so many different things to go into between sales, management, and other things that agents have to deal with. So basically this has led to a 92% insurance agents quitting the industry within the first 3 years. To be honest, I don't know where this stat comes from. I looked it up. I couldn't find it, but it's pretty much what I've seen in the industry. And I've seen other agencies throw this number around. Because it's really hard to keep people if they're not making money and if they're dealing with all those stuff they talked about. So how is this possible? How is this possible for one of the largest industries in the world to have such a high attrition rate? So let's look at the bell curve here. Now, if you don't know what this is, like I said, this is the bell curve. This is used to distinguish averages of pretty much anything. If you want to put in, if you know the average size of a fish, let's say it's 7 inches, just because it's off the top of my head, and this is 5 inches, this is 9 inches. So then they know that the biggest a fish could get would be like 14 inches. Or if you want to look at the average height of people, if you know the average guy is 5'7", then if 6 inches is the average, so then the 34% are going to be between 5'7" and 6'1", or whatever it may be. Well, in this case, let's look at insurance averages. Average income for insurance agents. If the average agent makes $50,000, and then that means that 34% of agents are making $0 to $50,000. And I think this is about right. If you add up these numbers here, about 15% of agents never make a single dollar, and that's really sad. But I'm pretty sure that it's pretty accurate. It could actually be higher than that, but I think another 34% of insurance agents make $50,000 to $100,000, and then obviously you got your top 15% that are making over $100,000. So we'll see how that plays out. These are different stats I pulled off the internet. First one here for ZipRecruiter. So ZipRecruiter, I'm not sure where they got their numbers from, but they're saying the average yearly salary of an insurance agent is $84,000, but they're saying it's this line right here. If you can see, the bulk of agents are actually right here within the top income earners making $234,000. Obviously, that there's agents that make a lot more than that, but and like I said, I don't know where they got this information, but I think this is actually off of ads that were placed with them, and that looks about right. But the next one here, we'll go off of salary.com. I don't know where they got their information from, but it's very similar to the other one as far as $50,000. They're saying that the bulk of agents are making $45,000 to $55,000. Then once you add in bonuses, healthcare, and retirement, it's $51,000 to $61,000. It seems about right. But then we go to Glassdoor.com, and this is actually information put in by actual agents, and they're saying that the average income for insurance agents is actually only $39,000. As you can see, there's a bulk of them making a lot less. As we can see here, there's 21,000. So this is probably like 25. This is probably 32, whatever it may be. And then their high is 79,000. But Like I said, this is user input, so it's very easy to see where the 92% of agents, if you're making less than $39,000, it's really hard to keep people in this industry making that kind of money. So as you can see, there's a big gap on how much the average insurance agent can make between, obviously we saw between $21,000 and $250,000. But how big is the gap between what is sold and what could be sold? So according to LIMRA research, 48% of Americans say that they need more life insurance, and we calculated that gap to be around $200,000 per household, which is a market opportunity of $12 trillion. And this is from Robert Zerner. He works at LIMRA. And that $200,000 obviously is insurance placed, so it's not annualized premium, which most agents go off of. But if we go to the next page here, he says our data tells us that 60 million U.S. households say they need more life insurance. That's a lot of American households. So it's a little bit about the insurance industry. The life insurance companies write out $1.5 billion in payments every day for the claims on life insurance, annuity, long-term care, and disability insurance. So this definitely is industry, guys, that there's a lot of growth opportunity, but there's already a lot of money in it. So it's a really big growth, or big industry that still needs more growth. So I love this quote by Bob Proctor, and he says, most people don't earn $50,000 a year because they want to earn $50,000 a year. They earn $50,000 per year because they are not aware of how to earn $50,000 per month. So big difference between $50,000 a year and $50,000 a month. So how can we fix this? So in the next videos, I'll talk about my theories, my ideas on how we can fix this. Thanks for watching this, guys.